Welcome to Social Genius, brought to you by Drunk on Social, where we help you stay ahead of social media trends, share the latest news, and highlight the strategies that are working to help you grow your business. Now let's join our hosts, Tristan and Jeff, in 3, 2, 1.
By now, you certainly know that Instagram is a social media platform that is arguably the most important platform to establish your brand and business as we head into the future. Understanding that growing a following is simply what the world tells you is important, but in actuality is purely vanity with very little results. And that's why we have come to really appreciate and endorse Michelle Berman with the Instagram Power Method, who teaches you how to actually connect with ideal clients and attract them to you without having to sell. Michelle comes from a place of practicing what she preaches, as she has built her business 100% through organic Instagram leads. Everything is rooted in sales psychology and conversation based on tapping into the brains of your ideal client. Vanity metrics are for, well, vanity. Go connect with Michelle today. Check out powermethodmasterclass.com. That's powermethodmasterclass.com, and be prepared to change your business's life.
Social Genius, Drunk on Social. Welcome back. This is episode number 70. The last one was our favorite episode of all time, so it's going to be really hard to come back from that. But here's what you're getting in episode number 70. And I'm not even going to revisit why the last episode was number 1. And you notice I'm not even mentioning the number. You
not gonna beat it.
Immature son of a gun.
Not gonna beat it.
This is going to be a brainstorm session. This is an interesting episode because what we're going to do is we're going to kind of talk about what we've been doing and what we're planning on doing. And I even told Tristan this morning in another meeting as we were planning our next speaking engagement, which let me go ahead and plug that. No, I shouldn't plug it because by the time this goes live, that'll already have happened, I think. But hopefully you came to the NAREB conference. I think it's their annual conference in Tampa on August 4th. Tristan and I are speaking or have spoken, depending on when you're listening to this. And we're going to be on stage together like
for the
3 times that day, I guess, if I'm gonna join you with Casey as well.
The first, second, and third time ever.
It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy good. And then we'll probably go to dinner that night too with our wives. So that'll be fun.
Mm-hmm.
But I digress. That's Tampa on August 4th. And now we're gonna brainstorm session. I'm gonna start just by asking you the question, Tristan, because I'm not sure where I'm going. And I knew that if you and I just talked about this, it would get me some ideas. And it probably will help some of you listening. So you have really been hyper-focused on YouTube lately. And in the next episode, we're really going to talk about why that is very important to all of you, but you're going to have to wait for that episode. You've been focused on YouTube. You've been going deep on testing out thumbnails. You've been going live every single week. You've been taking that long form content. You've been dissecting it and chopping it up into shorter form content, using it across other platforms. You've really been focused on what the market is doing and will the real estate market crash, but that can't last forever. So what are you planning on doing next? Are you thinking about what you're going to do next? And what does that look like?
Yeah, I learned this from watching London Lazerson. You look at how he started and he was like, hey, I look like Macaulay Culkin from Home Alone. I'm just going to go all in on Macaulay Culkin, Home Alone. Once I grow the audience, then I'll shift, then I'll pivot, then I'll evolve to the next stage, right? And so I saw an opportunity with the market shifting 4 months ago. I'm like, hey, you know what? Let's just go all in. And I'm noticing now every time, dude, look at my Instagram. It's kind of nutty. Last week, I just went viral on TikTok for doing a duet, right? With this economist who is a professor at Stanford, which, by the way, I messaged through Instagram, and he's doing we're doing a live together on YouTube now, which is crazy. But the fact that I went all in, super niche, hyper focused, is really helping out, because now I don't even have to think twice about what I'm going to post. There's no like alternating, there's no anything in between. There's just the market. And if I find something as I'm scrolling through, like you and I both do, if I find something that I'm like, oh, that's cool, I'll do edit, I'll post it, I'll do the trend. Like I did the math trend yesterday, right? Left, right. But other than that, I know exactly what I'm going to talk about on every single platform. And it might look different on each platform. And it's, dude, it is by far the best strategy I've ever had. And I can't believe it's still working.
How long have you been how long have you been hyper focused on the market? Because I think when you started going YouTube live it was very shortly after that you went all in on, is the market going to crash? And now you've been doing that now for what, at least a couple of months.
It's 4 months. I went slowly the first month, and then the second month I went all in.
When was I in California? When was I at your house? Because you did one that day.
Yeah, it was. I had just started that the previous week. When did you come over?
Wait a minute. I said weekly. He's been doing this daily. Correction, 5 days a week. Let me correct that.
And then I alternated, though. I did alternate. So I'm like, you know what? Maybe I should start switching a little bit off. So now I'm doing this. One video for real estate, the economy, the market, one video for that. The next day, I'm doing one video for my consumer on the real estate side, which is the real estate agent. So then I'm like, now I'm going back and forth. One for the consumer and agents, one just for agents on how to succeed in the shifting market. And I'm doing both. And depending on the day, dude, they do really well. And some do absolute garbage. Just depends on the day, which is funny. But so I'm going back to the question, which is, what should we be looking at? I think it's really important to look at the trends. It's important to look at what is happening around you. What is concerning your audience? What are they looking at? What do they want to hear more of because they have questions? And I don't think we do that enough. Right? And you may think, well, no, that's been done. Yeah, that may have been done, but not to your audience, and not repeatedly enough so that people can actually see it enough. Because I may do one video and it doesn't, dude, only like 100 people see it. But if I do the same type of video for 3 months straight, you better believe everyone's going to see it. And they're going to come and comment. And next time they see me, they're going to be like, that was really good. Right? Oh, I keep on seeing you everywhere. And I think and dude, that's what I learned from London. I go, how the hell is London doing the exact same thing over and over and over, and he's still growing? And it makes sense. That's what I learned from him.
What is your response to the fact, and I follow and comment on your stuff fairly regularly, but it's probably still only 20 to 30% of your post because you're posting so much. So I'm just not everything's showing up. And so and I'm a regular engager. So to somebody who says, this is a multi-part question. First of all, every day, like that's overwhelming, especially when it's a 10-minute video. Like nobody, even your biggest fans of the world, don't have time every day to watch that video. So what is your response to somebody that says, why should I bother doing it when no one's going to watch every one? Why wouldn't I make it more sporadic to once a week?
It's a habit. You're creating a habit from within. It's like reading. It's like showing up and working out. It's like taking a shower, right?
I hope you don't have to create that habit.
Let's go back in time. You're not taking a shower. You meet the most amazing. We're both men on this, and we both like women. Okay, so we're both just wanted to
Let's clarify that.
We live in a weird world. So okay, where they asked that question. I never asked that question before, but I don't mind what you like. I love everyone. I'm just saying it's weird that we have to say that because we don't give a fuck. Right. We're like, okay. All right. So there we go. So we like women. So we're like, maybe we're teenagers. We didn't take a shower for a week straight. I'm not saying we ever did that, Jeff, but probably. We did it. Yeah. We met the most amazing, beautiful woman, and we're like, wow. And then we smell like shit. And then they're like, who is this smelly guy? Right? We're training ourselves so that we show up every day, so that opportunity, when it comes, we're ready. And if you think you're going to pick up social media tomorrow or next week, or be ready for that new social media platform that comes out, because you're not practicing, you're not showing up daily, you're wrong. it's going to leave you behind, just like everything else has left you behind before.
Yeah.
This is why you show up on a daily basis. Last week on Friday, I did a live. I had 12 people watching, right? And on Monday, I did a live. I had over 200 people watching.
Wow.
Did I feel like crap on Friday? I'm like, I guess some people didn't show up, right? But
you probably just ignore it. I mean, it's not.
You just go, dude. You're in a habit. You just go. I know that I'm going to create multiple pieces from that one thing, and I'm going to throw it everywhere. Something hits. Look at my Instagram. There are some things that only get less than 1,000 views, and there are some that get thousands of views.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't care. We just keep going. We keep going, and we're creating a habit to show up every day and to do our best, to give our best. Because the moment you start just half-assing this, people are going to notice. It's like, right?
Yeah. Well, what's the psychology in your opinion behind it? Because, I mean, I'm experiencing it as well. And, I mean, we both have that. It's now just kind of built into our DNA as social media creators. It's like, I am going to stay true to what I set out to do at any cost. And I can speak to this because I just was gone for 3 weeks. I was home for one day. I've been gone for 3 weeks. So I had to pre-create a lot of content and shoot a bunch of videos and send them to my editors to have them edited, or I would have had to do that myself. So I didn't miss a beat on what my goals are every single week, which is posting 6 videos a week at minimum. That's my minimum. And so I'm going through this on TikTok. I mean, you always tell everybody that I'm better at TikTok, but lately my TikTok's been really bad. And part of it, I think the reason is because I've really focused on what I want to be known for, which is not really Ozarks. First of all, I've been gone, not at the Ozarks, so I'm not creating content there. And I'm just staying focused on what I want to focus on, which is social advice, business tips, that sort of thing. And TikTok's not rewarding me. I'm not getting viewed, but Instagram's
rewarding you.
Really, yes. Reels are really kicking ass. Yeah. It's really amazing what's going on, but I'm just saying to myself, and I say this to other people, it's like, I don't care. I don't care if I get 15 views on a video. I don't care, because that's literally what's happening on some of my TikToks. And I'm just going to stay true to it. And maybe at some point that algorithm will pick me up. And if it doesn't, it's still good content that is getting viewed on Instagram. And I'm posting those to YouTube, and I'm posting those to some Facebook groups, and I'm posting those to LinkedIn. And I don't know. I think so. I guess back to the question of that cadence at all cost, how does someone, you and I have a weird way of thinking. That's why we probably have gotten along so well and started to create so many businesses together, because we have the same interests and we enjoy this stuff. But for somebody who really just wants to do it and do it for their business, and they believe what we're saying, but they don't have a passion for it, what is a psychological piece that you would tell them to say, you got to get over that. You got to get past that. You got to ignore the virality and the lack of views and push through.
I think it comes down to understanding that in the world that we live in, there's two ways to grow your business. One is more of the old school way, the hunter, right? You go out and hunt it, you cold call, you make the calls, you go out and do these things, you door knock, everything that we normally do. That's how I started in this business. And then there's the other way, where if you combine it with the hunter, or even if you have this alone over a long period of time, you have a business that you can then leave behind, which is the attraction. If you create a business based on attraction, where you attract people to you because now they like you, they love what you post, that you've created a following because your brand represents something that they can connect with, that's what we're looking at long term, right? And if we look at lab coat agents, right? That's what we've created, but we need to show up on a daily basis there. Mm-hmm. And it's morphed over the last few years. We showed up during COVID. We were the first ones who showed up during COVID. And we were the first ones who showed up during this shift way before it hit, right? And we're going to continue to show up first before everyone else, because we don't give a second thought into it, because a beautiful lady showed up and we were taking showers. That's it.
So
that may not be the best analogy, Jeff.
But it's okay. So now, no, that's okay. There's no right or wrong here. That's the thing. These are opinions, and this is a brainstorm session. What's next for you? What are you thinking out ahead and thinking to yourself? All right, where, at what point do I wear out my welcome on the market is crashing, and where am I going next?
Yeah, I'm going to be talking more about the economy as it shifts, because I noticed as I'm doing more research, they're so interchangeable, the economy and the housing. And I want to be talking about where it's heading, but where the economy is heading as well. So you may start seeing a shift along the way when it comes to that. And one thing that I just started doing are duets. So I'm duetting a lot of these people that are talking about the economy and the market, but I'm picking ones that have already gone viral. And I'm noticing that not enough people are doing that. They're not duetting these amazing videos. So that gives me an opportunity. I've done that a few times over the last 2 weeks, and I already have 2 videos that have gone viral because of it. And I just haven't picked the right ones.
And that's actually, and the thing about duetting too, is it's so simple. There's nothing to it. You just got to sit there and basically give facial reactions, because you can't even talk, because the sound is not, I mean, I guess you could, but you're going to be talking over the person that you're sharing. And basically you're essentially sharing it, but it's a unique way of sharing it by duetting it, which is branding yourself. And it's kind of a win. I've never really thought about it. I mean, to me, sometimes they're a little cringy, but at the same token, that's something you just got to get over and be like, screw it. It doesn't matter, because so for me, I should be duetting social media tip type videos.
You know who I would duet? I would duet the Instagram CEO. What's his name?
Oh yeah. Oh, good point. Yeah.
Dude,
Adam Mosseri. Yeah.
Big, bro.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
And the only problem is that when we duet on Instagram, it's not the same, obviously, right? TikTok does everything better on the editing side, except one thing. That's importing sounds. Importing sounds, Instagram wins. But everything else on the editing side, duets. Well, I'll take it back. Instagram has really good captioning too. It's
different.
Like
it's different captioning. The editing of the captioning is much easier on TikTok, because I do edit captions to make, because I don't like it when it jacks up the words. I'm just a perfectionist like that. And Instagram's now the captioning on Instagram is cooler, and they're more fun, and they're more bubbly letters, right? And you can put them in different fonts or whatever, which is way better than TikTok. But TikTok's is more functional and easier to edit. Instagram's very hard to edit. It's a pain in the ass, actually.
Yeah, I agree.
They need to be better at that. But I agree with you on the captioning. I didn't know about I don't ever import my own sound, my own. I mean, I always choose music there, or I do love the voiceover features in both of them, and I've been using a lot of it on Instagram lately. Voiceovering is so easy to do, and it's a great way to tell a story. I'm going to start doing more of that, like creating videos, and instead of talking you through the video like I've been doing, I'm going to start telling us, like, I'm going to upload my Wimbledon one soon, and I'm going to tell the story of how we got into Wimbledon, which should be fun rather than what I've been doing on my video. Well, I think it'll be more fun. We'll see.
Dude, I'm watching you blow up on Instagram all of a sudden. It's kind of cool to see.
I can't figure it out, but I'm not, my followers aren't really growing. I'm just getting a lot more engagement, but it takes engagement to grow followers.
You know what?
So
do this with me while we're on. Open up your Instagram.
All right.
So nobody's going to see it. So, but walk me through it. Open up your Instagram. Go to the last post that you did, which was the mindset shift occurs. The one that you might need to trash some friends. That one, which I loved. Go to that one and take a look at the insights on the 3 buttons, on the 3 dots. And then I'm looking for 2 specific things. I'm looking for the little paper airplane for shares, and I'm looking for bookmarks for saves.
That's pretty good.
What were they?
13 and 19. Dude, 13 shares, 19 bookmarks.
That's really good. That's what I'm looking at. When I look at my reels, and I go to this, that's what's really determining what I'm posting. Because I go back, there was a Ylopa one that I did where I'm saying, hey, you all suck at converting online leads. And I look at that one on my insight. I wish insights were available for everybody, by the way, so we could see everybody's insights.
Mm-hmm.
But if I look at that one, only had 2,000 views, okay? But it had 67 shares and 34 saves.
Wow.
And I was like, okay, so people want more of this.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things that I look for to see what content is really being shared and saved. Because if it's not being shared and saved, the views are cool, but it'll just pop your thing in front of people and they'll be like, oh, that's funny. And they'll scroll.
Yeah. And they're actually probably not watching but a few seconds of it. Whereas if they're sharing it or saving it, that's a clear indication that they're consuming the majority of it.
You got it, buddy.
It's like the Bud Light, Busch Light, Mountain Dew one. That one got 56 shares. That tells me that people were sharing that with friends saying, we need to try this, basically, is what it was.
Yes.
Yeah.
Dude, that's what I'm looking at. So there was one I did 2 days ago on real estate and recession. And the views are only 2,500, but it's got 37 shares and 13 saves. And I'm like, okay, that's resonating, right? Because I look at my stupid math one, which has 5,000 views, and the insights only has like the same amount of shares, 12 shares and 4 saves. It's not that great for having 5,000 views.
Yeah.
Right. So that's the thing I'm looking for as to determine what kind of content I'll be posting more of.
Yep.
And the ability for us to pivot or evolve is really going to determine how well we do. And then that's all determined on how much we're paying attention to the trends. Right? This is why we're able to shift so quickly. Right? We both knew as soon as the interest rates hit, that was going to be content for a long time. Right? That's going to be content for the rest of this year, man.
Yeah.
For me.
Yeah.
And then I can figure out what the hell to talk about later. But right now, I'm right in the middle of it.
I think the moral of the story is figure out what it is that you're passionate about, has some tie back to business somehow. And remember, I'm in the mortgage business, but yet my focus is all about social media now because it's reaching my audience, which is real estate agents, just like same for you. It's economy and sort of thing is reaching real estate agents. We have the same audience, just different folk, different end goals. So you as a real estate agent or a mortgage professional, who is your target audience? And for a real estate professional, your target audience is probably the buyer and seller. And so think about what it is they would be interested in, not what you would be interested in. Because if you do what Tristan does, you're going to be reaching real estate professionals. If you're a mortgage professional, you probably want to do what Tristan does because it's reaching real estate professionals. You really got to think through this. And then when you figure that out, now go lean into something that you have some passion and you have resources that will provide you with perpetual content. So maybe you're not going to do this 5 days a week like Tristan did, but even once a week, you'll never struggle to have something to talk about. And that's another thing I love about my topics, because I have resources that provide me with daily news that I can always grab something from. And that's why it's easy to create a lot of content from it. And so that's the trick for everybody listening from this brainstorm session. Figure that out. Like Tristan told you, it will become cadence. It will become normal. It will become like taking a shower. And before you know it, you're going to be just creating that consistent content and watch the opportunities that come from it.
Dude, and then pay attention to the data, because I'm looking at my YouTube and I'm like, which ones are giving me more subscribers, more comments, more views? And then I'm going to the exact same thing and digging in now into Instagram deeper and doing exactly what I just did with you. And I'm like, okay, which one's being shared and saved the most? And if I go and do the same thing with TikTok, I find that for the most part, they perform similarly to Instagram. Instagram for me always does better. but they also perform similarly on TikTok, just much less, right? For me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I understand. I got it. And then you know where I post them, and I'm never going to stop as long as it's around. Facebook Reels. Dude, some of the Facebook Reels that I've been posting are just, they've blown up.
And I'm still not doing Facebook Reels.
Dude, the one I did with the cold caller, it got 5,400 views. And then the one that is doing really well on TikTok with the economist, the Stanford professor, that one got 40,000 views on TikTok, but only 4,500 views on Facebook. But dude, when you combine them and we dive into audiences, we're like, okay, I'm hitting a very diverse audience on both.
Yes.
That's the key.
Yes.
That's what I'm looking at. I want to have our team look at the data more and be like, okay, tell us what's happening, because we need to perform better.
Well, and the other side of the coin too is you just said it, like I crushed TikTok for a long time. Now I'm not crushing it, but the same content I'm putting on TikTok, I'm putting over on Reels, that's crushing on Reels. And so this is more reason why you cannot just rely on one platform. Take this content and post it across multiple channels. I think we need to do these brainstorm sessions more often, once a month.
Dude, that'd be great. You know what? We should play it live into the group.
Ooh, yeah.
That would be really good.
That's good. That's good. Well, I hope those of you that listened gained a lot from this. It's we always have said from day one on this podcast, and this is a great example, that we even if no one listens, we gain a lot from it. And so I know we've picked up a handful of followers and listeners. So I hope this was valuable to you. And if you do like this and you listen till you're listening to me say this right now, stop what you're doing. Go onto the podcasting app that you're listening and leave us a review, a testimonial. Tell us that you love us. It helps. It helps the cause. So we'd appreciate that. And we'll see you back on episode 71, where we're going to get back into the news. And we've got some really juicy stuff to talk about. So
remember, everybody, take a shower.
That too.
Thanks for listening to Social Genius, brought to you by Drunk on Social. We are here to help you take your business to new levels through social media. Make sure to subscribe to get updates on new episodes, and come join us on our Drunk on Social Facebook page. And as always, make sure you leave us a great review on your favorite podcast app. Feedback and likes are very much appreciated.